Hello, everyone. Welcome to this episode of Rush Roots. Today we have Vicki. So, Vicki, why don't you tell us who you are and where you're from?
Hey, everybody. My name is Vicki Hudson, and I am from Atlanta, Georgia.
There we go. Well, how did you hear about Rush? How did you get into them and what keeps you around? Tell us your Rush roots.
So I heard Rush for the first time when I was 14 years old. I was at a friend's house, and various kids were kind of scattered around in different rooms of the house. No parents were home, of course. And, and I was
Remember
walking to the
those?
kitchen to get a snack when all of a sudden, from one of the bedrooms, I heard science like nature must also be tamed, etc. And I actually like skidded to a halt in my tracks. And I just said to the people in the room, like, what is this music? And they said, it's Rush. And that was it. I mean, that song hooked me so thoroughly. So I borrowed the Permanent Waves cassette from them and I never gave it back to whoever owned it. So that
You
poor guy never got
borrowed.
his tape back. Yeah. um, so needless to say, so many years later, I'm almost 50. So you do the math. And I think what's kept me around are two things: the depth of Rush and the Rush community. So, in
Uh,
the depth of their music, I feel like I can explore new things, and the lyrics, of course, too. There's always something to learn, something to explore. So, there's that aspect. I can seek solace on difficult days. I can feel uplifted when I need to. I can get inspired as a musician. I mean, I swear I've listened to the guitar solo on Mission, the song Mission, like how many times since I was, so young. And I still get goosebumps from it. I still get inspiration from it. So it just makes my brain short circuit after all these years. And so there's always something new to discover, even from a song you've listened to 1,000 times. Um, the other thing that keeps me around is the Rush community. So in the Rush community, I feel like I've really found a sense of acceptance. I was always an outcast as a kid, as I think a lot of Rush fans were. And
uh-huh.
that's why, the song Subdivisions resonates with so many of us.
Yep.
And I have found this acceptance and friendship. And as you guys know, I am the lead singer in the Rush tribute band, The Spirit of Rush. And through that experience, I have met just some of the best people in the world from all walks of life. We have this commonality of Rush, but that also allows us to explore our differences. So, I mean, I've got folks from just all kinds of backgrounds, political spectrum. I mean, it's just been so interesting. And in the end, we all come back to our love of Rush. And we just have the best fans in the world. And I'm grateful for how they make me feel every time we play. So I think that's what keeps me around, that among
Cool.
so many other things.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That is awesome.
Awesome.
I entirely agree. Um, well, all right. Why don't you tell us when and where and what tour your first Rush show was?
So my first Rush show was April 2nd of 1990 at the LA Forum. So I was living in LA at the time, and that was the Presto tour. And it was just that anticipation. I don't have to tell you guys what that feeling is like of
Yeah.
just waiting for your first Rush
Yeah.
show, knowing that it's about to happen. And I just had so much fun anticipating it. And I think that's,
Mhm.
some of the greatest memories I have are anticipating Rush shows and then they actually happen. But that feeling of just so much excitement. So I guess I was, yeah, 18 or something. And I took along a guy that I had a crush on in high school who was a big Rush fan. And it was amazing, just absolutely mind blowing.
That's awesome. That's so
Presto
great.
tour. From what
Yeah.
I'm told, that was, of course, I wasn't even born. From what I'm told, that was one of the more underrated shows that you just don't hear about often anymore. There's no DVD or CD for it, and all you've got
Right.
is YouTube clips.
Exactly. And I don't understand why, because it was just, one of the most perfect moments of my life that I'll remember on my deathbed was going to see. So I saw another show on the Presto tour about, I don't know, I guess a couple months later when they came back through at Irvine Meadows. This is an outdoor amphitheater. It's where I saw my final Rush show also on R40, which was a much more somber feeling. But in this show in 1990, it was one of those perfect Southern California evenings. The breeze is blowing, a gentle, warm breeze. And they started playing Mission, and the stars are coming out above my head. And, Alex is launching into that solo. And it was just one of those like perfect moments.
Yep.
And there were so many moments like that on the Presto tour. So I certainly wish they'd made a DVD of it. I would love that.
Yeah, it was definitely a really great tour. And I think because the album sounds really thin and very trebly, and I don't think it was mixed as well it probably could have been. When they played those songs on the tour, like that's how they should have sounded to me. So
yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
And opening with Force 10, that was such a killer opening song.
Yep.
And so I remember hearing those first notes, that was like the first Rush song I ever heard live was Force 10. And so that song remains special to me to this day, because I just remember hearing that opening sequence.
Yeah.
And just thinking, oh, this is it. This is
it. Yeah, it's so fun. It's so exciting. That's so cool. All right. Okay, so what was your first favorite song and your first favorite album? And how is that different from your favorite song and your favorite album today?
So my first favorite song was Natural Science, because I was just absolutely enraptured by the whole thing. I couldn't believe what I was hearing, and I still can't believe it. And my first favorite album was Permanent Waves. Natural Science is now my number 2 favorite song after Mission. So Mission is my absolute favorite song ever of all time in the history of the universe. And my favorite album depends on the day. I'm one of those Rush fans that literally loves them all from A to Z. I'd have a hard time making comparisons. I mean, I think Hold Your Fire and Permanent Waves are probably still kind of up there in that tied for that top slot. But then when I listen to Power Windows or Clockwork Angels, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So it's pretty hard to choose. And what's so thrilling is being able to actually now perform some of these songs and feeling that music come through me and out to the audience. And sometimes I see the faces of like the kids that are out in the audience, who have never seen Rush live, and seeing that joy on their faces reminds me of what I felt back then when I was seeing Rush live. And it's full circle, just great experience.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah.
That's so cool.
It's so nice as a musician to get that feedback from the crowd. It makes it that much more special. It's special to play regardless, right? I could play to an empty room, but it's special. But getting that feedback from the crowd just makes it just so much more.
It is. And especially during COVID, in a time when people just need to be uplifted. In our last show, we had a gentleman who'd never seen us before. And so he brought a group of like 8 of his friends, and he's sitting at the table sort of right in front of the stage. And some of the expressions I saw on his face, I wish I could have been recording, because he was like, we'd start a song, we did a Farewell to Kings for the first time live. And the guy was just standing up like, he was so excited. And to be able to provide that for people in a time of darkness was, it was really rewarding for us.
That's so great. So great.
Yeah. All right, Vicki. Well, why don't you tell us where people can find you on social media and where they can find your band on social media?
Yeah, absolutely. So on Instagram, the band is Spirit of Rush ATL, because that's Atlanta where we're based. I am Spirit of Rush Girl. On Facebook, you can just look up the Spirit of Rush Atlanta, and you'll find our Facebook page, which is very active and a lot of fun. We do a lot of fun things on there. And we're also on Twitter. So I think I'm Vicki Rush Girl on Twitter. So please connect with me. I hope to connect with all of you.
Awesome. I hope to get to one of your shows soon. So
I'm counting on it, Ryan.
That'd be so great. That'd be such a great road trip.
We would dedicate a song to you for
I'll
sure.
I'll have to get a part like hitting the triangle like Jerry or something like that. So
you got it.
We'll have to figure something out.
If you come down, you will definitely get a part.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Vicki, for doing this. We appreciate it. And anyone who wants to come on and share their Rush roots, feel free to reach out to us at rushfans@rushfans.net, and we'll hook you up with a spot, and we'll do your Rush roots. You can tell your Rush story. So thanks again, Vicki, and everyone take care.
Thanks, guys. Take care.